Today, now going over to the business blunder of the day, you have General Motors to recall about 820,000 trucks because of a tailgate issue, which is one of the most important parts of a General Motors vehicle, considering not more often than not, but it breaks down and you'll probably be sitting on that tailgate waiting for a tow truck for quite some time. Pun not really intended. Now, this is according to David Shepard over at Reuters, and they note that specifically it is 820,000 of their newer pickup trucks. The recall covering manufactured vehicles, model years from 2020 to 2024, with the power unlatching tailgates because water could leak into the exterior tailgate switch and cause a short circuit while parked. Which, again, GM is supposed to have, they supposedly allegedly have proving grounds and going through research, development, and, torture testing it to see can it withstand the elements. It rains a fair substantial amount in Michigan. Again, they're headquartered famously in Detroit. I can't fathom how they don't catch that. Now, granted, a lot of the trucks are manufactured in different states, and I believe Texas, because statistically speaking, the highest rates of truck purchases are Oklahoma and Texas. They have some of the highest rates. But how do they not catch this? I mean, of all the vehicles that you're going to leave outside to the elements and not park inside a garage, more often than not, I would suspect that would be a truck. I mean, it's supposed to be a work vehicle going to construction sites and moving hay and funny third thing cliche from a commercial from the 90s. Now, GM said that they are aware of only one reported incident where there was a minor injury and 3 minor property damage complaints related to the issue. So, again, the silver lining, and I always like to say if you squint hard enough in life, you'll find a silver lining in most situations. Now, the silver lining in this situation, it's not one of the key components of the vehicle in regards to, think of the things that cost the most money and that are most important. It's not the engine or the transmission. And it's also not airbags or safety related. So again, it could be a lot worse. This is, a lot of people consider it an accessory. And again, it's not, I would argue it's not life threatening. And thankfully, no one's passed away from this and there hasn't been a major injury. Now, in terms of breakdown of where these trucks located and where they affected, looks like it's going to cover about 570,000 trucks in the United States and 250,000 trucks in Canada, or as some people call it, Canada. Now, they note that the callback is GM's largest U.S. recall of the year and one of the larger recalls filed this far in 2024. Well, now I was going to say, it's still very early in the year. I can't also suspect, but statistically speaking, there will be even more recalls for GM throughout the year. Now, it looks like U.S. and Canadian regulators say that if the tailgate opens, unsecured cargo could fall out of the bed of truck and onto the road while moving, which I won't say duh, but yeah, obviously they funny how the government usually will actually spell it out. Now, in terms of what trucks are affected, GM said is working on a quick remedy on the issue, which, okay. They note that the recall will cover 2020 to 2023 Chevy Silverado and GMC Sahara trucks, model years 2020 to 2000, because again, that's the same thing. It's just they just use different plaques, which in terms of branding is actually quite impressive that the GMC brand is so popular with culture and people buying it that when they went bankrupt in 2009, they kept the GMC brand because people loved it so much they kept buying it. Even though mechanically it's the same darn thing as a Chevrolet, I mean, those two trucks are the same assembly line. They just slap on a different logo. But that's perhaps one of the best examples of the power of branding. Now, again, the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sahara are the 2020-2023 model years. Now, the other trucks that are affected are the 2020-2024 heavy-duty versions of the same pickup trucks with the power latching tailgates, or power unlatching tailgates, rather. Now, GM say they opened an investigation in November after receiving complaints of unwanted tailgates opening and says received 136 complaints that alleged an unwanted tailgate opening. So again, also one of those things where I tend to like a little less technology over more technology in certain applications. It's kind of ironic because I work in tech. But yeah, having a recall of, again, when you look at the General Motors portfolio and most automotive portfolios, one of the most important products, bar none, are trucks and SUVs because they have the most profit margin. There's a reason why most of these companies no longer make affordable or entry-level price, competitively priced compact cars. There's a reason the Chevy Cruze is no longer made anymore, which is a shame because they used to actually come with a manual transmission, and I mean, in a little turbo. Granted, it's for efficiencies, but Chevy Cruze Turbo, a little Eco. It's called the Chevy Cruze Eco with the stick. With the stick shift, that's my first car. I love that little thing. It's mostly reliable. It's pretty surprising. But again, with those products, that vehicle, there's basically no money in it. It's kind of brand recognition that you buy it, and they're hoping you fall in love with the brand, and then you buy a Chevy, Silverado, or maybe you get a Tahoe or something like that. That there's a lot more profit in it. Now, again, having a recall for your most profitable, most important vehicle you manufacture, especially when they're leaning more into hybrids and EVs, where the losses are high in the beginning of manufacturing, especially with the upfront investment, I gotta say that is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up and thumbs down or a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight,